Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of City Hall Live. I am Joe Abeyta, coming to you live on Channel 928, High Definition, SFG TV. And with me today is the Director of Constituent and Councilor Services, the Office of Direct, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Kristine Milhelcic. How are you doing today, Kristine?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm doing really well. So thank you for coming on. I know you're very busy. And I noticed that in today's paper that we have some signs popping up around town. So tell me a little bit about this.
We do. We have some signs popping up, 10 signs to be exact, actually. So the signs are geared towards residents in the community, and they say no to panhandling and saying yes to give to local charities. The intent of these pilot signs are really to start encouraging residents to help us get individuals in need to the services they need.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest piece. And I know I cannot stress enough, actually, Joe, that this is one slice of a 100-slice pie. So this is not the end-all be-all. This is not what we think is going to change the dynamic in the city. What we've realized through multiple meetings and just really research and engagement and all the things that we've done is that we need 100 steps to start to address our panhandling and our homelessness issue in the city. And so I really want to make that clear. This is one of 100 steps that we're working towards. And really the idea for this is that we want people in need to get the services they need long term. And so that is our goal. If you give to a charity, then someone who needs a meal, we want them to go to the food depot.
That's right.
We want them to get food long term and have food stability. The same if you need housing services or you need to go to a shelter, you need a room for the night. We want you to get to a place where you can get long-term services and long-term need and long-term support. And so that is really, I can't even emphasize the amount of the message that is core there. And so the signs did go up. They're in 10 locations across the city. This is kind of a test program. We're gonna see how it works. We're in communication with charities and community partners. We wanna see how this works, if there's more outreach we can do. And that's a question that I've actually already heard, sorry Joe, is what kind of outreach? So we've been coordinating with our street outreach teams and partners. They've been going continuously to panhandlers, to local places of gathering, and then asking people what kind of services they need, if they're interested in services, if they need more information. Also, Santa Fe County does a wonderful community guide that has a list of resources, both where people can donate, but also if anyone's in need where they can get services. Our police officers actually carry copies of those, which is really great. And a lot of times our police officers and our firefighters, as well as our librarians, are doing a lot of outreach as well.
What exactly do the signs say?
So the signs actually say, they say no to, it says say no to panhandling and say yes to giving to local charities.
Gotcha.
And that's really what we're trying to encourage is, again, that giving to local charities. Santa Fe is such an amazingly generous community.
It is.
And so we really are hoping that if we can all collectively start putting our resources towards these, again, long-term solutions that are in place to help with these types of situations, that we can really start to see a difference in our community.
No, absolutely. I know that we have Jill Dixon on from the Food Depot, and I know that they're a part of that network of helping out folks. And she was telling me that $1 will make, if you were to donate $1 to them, they'll be able to stretch that dollar for like 4 or 5 meals or something like that, the way that it works. So when you say that, when you hand out maybe $1, and we're just, it's just a suggestion.
It's a suggestion, right.
But when you give $1 to somebody that's panhandling, as opposed to giving $1 to someone to the Food Depot or some organization like that, they can stretch that dollar to be able to help many more folks with that $1, correct?
Absolutely. And not just that, but then the piece of that is that an individual knows that they can go to Food Depot, they can get additional information on when there's fresh food, how they access it, and how they really become more food stable in this example.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's a great example of how the process, we're hoping to continue that, to help that path along. And one thing, Joe, I do want to mention is that, again, this is, as I've mentioned, one piece of multiple steps, but our CSD department, which is our Community Services department, is working to establish a Connect Fund. And this goes to that same concept, a fund where people will be able to donate, and then navigators and other community members will be able to access that money for people in need in certain circumstances. So that's the other thing we acknowledge is, not all panhandlers are homeless, and not all homeless are panhandlers. There's a wide variety and spectrum of things. Sometimes someone is panhandling because they need to make rent and they're $100 short. Sometimes someone's panhandling. There's so many reasons, and so things like a Connect Fund that our Community Services Department's working on will really be helpful in those types of situations.
So not saying that it's going to be this, but I'm just asking that, like, coming from what you just said, and maybe the questions that someone might want to hear. So if someone is short on maybe rent and they're panhandling, this Connect Fund could help them?
Could potentially help them.
Potentially could help them with
yes.
that.
And again, then we're able.
That's pretty awesome.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Kara Ochoa, who I strongly suggest you also bring on this show.
Yeah, we'd love to have her on.
She is just phenomenal at trying to put the pieces in the right spot and taking a piece and seeing, where our voids are and so forth. And so, and Kira's also the lead on our Build for Zero initiative, which is the initiative that the city has taken on to end chronic homelessness in the city of Santa Fe. And other communities across the country are working towards this same goal. It's a program that we're all part of.
Yeah, and going back to, homelessness, it's just that the amount of the network of people and organizations that work together. I know Food Depot helps out helps out the shelters with food.
Yes.
And the shelters are working with other types of homelessness,
Yes.
Or moms in need of getting out of a dangerous household, or kids or whatever. I mean, there's a huge network of people, of organizations here that really want to help.
Yes.
And there's no shortage of help here in the city. So I think it's really awesome that we're doing this and that we're looking at that next level of how can we take care of this. Not necessarily if you could not be, maybe not homeless, but it's really interesting. I never thought about this. Panhandling doesn't necessarily mean that you're homeless. Right? It's just that you need something.
Yes.
Maybe you need groceries for your kids, or you need to make rent, or pay that gas bill or something. But I know that these organizations, with the amount of times they've been on our show, that they're able to help out with this. So that's pretty incredible.
It is, and like I said, I mean, we have such an amazing community of generous, not only individuals and kind-hearted individuals, but organizations. We just have such a great community. In fact, when we were walking through the Build for Zero program, when they came to do the evaluation on our community, that's exactly what they said. Santa Fe is so kind-hearted, so generous, and has so many amazing organizations.
Yeah,
so
it's just we want to get the funding to the right source that can help you out the most.
Yes,
That's
and we want to
exactly
get the people to the organization so that they can, again, have a more sustainable long-term.
Yeah. And we're not saying who to donate to or whatever. You do whatever you want with that, but yeah.
Absolutely. So we think if you have a favorite local charity, absolutely, we encourage you to give to that charity. We did provide a few just of kind of our key pieces within the city. So we did, people were asking, who can I donate to? Give me a charity or an example.
Yeah.
So we did provide LifeLink, which has amazing services.
Yes.
Food Depot, we did say the Interfaith Community Shelter at Pete's Place, and then St. Elizabeth Shelter. So again, that's not the end-all be-all list, but we were, being asked what are some organizations that we can give to, and so those are ones that we gave to individuals. And I do want to stress, Joe, that these signs are really geared towards the givers.
Yeah.
They are not geared at all towards the panhandlers.
That's right.
Panhandlers on public property it's not illegal.
No.
It is legal. The city absolutely respects free speech. This is really, again, geared towards the givers. We're asking you to just change the way you give and give to local charities. And this is a concept that is being implemented, tried, and executed across the country, and actually in other countries as well. So, and I think that came up in some of the questioning or that's been out is, are other communities doing this? Yes, other communities are doing this.
And I know it's as easy as just going on your phone, going to the website and hitting the donate button.
Yes.
And then just paying it that way, and it's pretty quick, and you can do that. I'm not saying to encourage that while you're driving, but maybe
Yes.
pull off to a parking lot and do it that way,
Yes.
as opposed to when you're at St. Francis and Cerritos Road and you say, oh, I think I'll do what Joe said and go to it, and then people are honking the horn at you.
Yes.
So you don't want to do that.
You don't
So
want to do that, yeah.
You can do it, yeah. So, well, that is great. That this is part, when you say this is just a small slice of
Yes.
a bigger pie of what we're doing as far as action goes, it seems like it's going to be a pretty good pie after everything is said and done.
We're really hopeful. We're really hopeful. In fact, a lot of our teams meet on a weekly basis now to kind of start to address these types of concerns from the community. It's been really neat, as you are well aware. The Constituent and Councilor Services department is a fairly new department to the city, and it's really been nice to see how we pull together and work collaboratively with a lot of other departments.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have community services at the table, we have the fire department at the table, we have the police department at the table, mayor, city manager, and then public works, parks and rec. So a lot of different departments coming together to see how we address these issues. And I know the mayor has said before, he is at mayor's conference, and he's like, these are issues that every single city, when we throw up like, what's your number one issue in your community, every city is saying, we're grappling with panhandling, we're grappling with homeless population, we're grappling, and of course mental health needs are a huge piece of that component. And so
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, we're, like I said, this is one piece. We don't think that this is the end all be all by any means, but we're really willing to start trying a variety of different approaches in our community. So
That's great. That's awesome. So you brought up the Office of Constituent and Councilor Services. We're going to switch gears a little bit here. So what is it? What do you guys do? Like what is it,
what do we do? We do
Exactly.
it all.
Yes,
Joe.
I was going to say, we do everything.
We do everything.
Gotcha.
So there's multiple components to our department, but probably the most prominent piece that everyone sees is we do handle all of the constituent request flow for the entire city, which is amazing. So when you call our 955-6949 number, you're getting someone from our office. They are either providing information or helping you resolve an issue, or we're taking a concern and we're getting it to the right department, we're tracking it, and we're following through with it. So that's a huge component of it. A piece that I'm really, really proud of is we recently launched a live chat function on our homepage of our website. So if you go to the website and you're looking around or you can't find something, there's a live chat function in the corner. And so our team is answering questions and concerns at live chat, and that's available Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. That's really a new feature. That's something that we've launched in the last probably 6 weeks, and so it's been really great. We're working out, all the logistics, and
That's really cool, yeah, because
it's a really
I've
cool
used that
feature.
before also on different things, and it's just been a little bit better than being online or on hold, excuse me,
Yes.
and waiting for someone to talk to.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. And just to throw out another awesome thing that we've done is we implemented a new function on the phone system, so you actually don't even have to wait on hold anymore. You can type in your number,
Oh,
and
that's
we'll
cool.
call you back.
I love that.
As soon as the representative's available.
P&M does that.
Yes, well, the city of Santa Fe does
And the
that,
city of
Joe.
Santa Fe does that now too.
Yes.
But that's always really cool. I love that. That's a
Yes,
great function.
It
Yes.
is. It's a really cool function, and
Yeah.
it's just taking things like that. I mean, I think about how I interact on a regular basis with websites or companies, and so those are two things that we've really been happy with. Again, the callback function, so you don't have to wait on hold. Another really cool thing that we've implemented is we don't have wait music anymore. We're giving you fun facts about the city or important dates that you need to know. Yes, so you'll hear some messages of really important information coming across, which I think is really neat.
No, and I think part of the frustration, well, you know, it could be you're frustrated about something because you're calling the city for something for some reason, and possibly I would say yes, it's nice to get compliments. Hey, I'm just calling to say you guys are doing a great job.
Yes.
But we know that that's not the case
not always
in
why
most
we get
cases,
calls,
right?
yeah.
But if you do have something happening to you, you don't have to wait to be able to do that. They'll call you. That makes it a little bit better. That diffuses the emotion, in a sense of why, and it makes you feel, well, these guys have their stuff together and they're going to call me back, which is really good. We
will call you back. And that actually, Joe, it's a little promo, but we can do it. We haven't launched it just yet, but we're working on an info line, which will be 955-INFO, and you can actually call that line if you're just looking for information about the city, because we don't want every engagement to be, you know, I have a complaint. Like if you have a question or concern, we want to hear from you.
Like where's the best local food I can get? Like that?
No, that might be biased, but like how do I pay my business lice online?
What would you say is the best? Where is the best food? No, I'm kidding.
Well, it depends. Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just kidding. And then I do also just want to say that we are working to launch a brand new customer relationship manager system. So it's traditionally called the CRM system. We're really, really excited. It's going to come online in the next few weeks, and I'm probably going to want to come back on and talk to you about it. But it's a really cool way you can enter a pothole or ping something from your phone. You can upload a photo to us. It'll enter your location, and then you can even leave an email and we'll get back to you and let you know, or if you want to check the status of it. So it's a really cool system. It's part of a larger package where we're trying to get the city to really start centralizing their data. So really, really cool need. And then, sorry, I just keep talking.
No, that's fine. I was just going to compliment you guys on everything. I mean, I don't think folks understand that, you know, I know that you have two full-time employees in your office that are part of the constituents part, right?
Yes.
And then we have the counselor services that we haven't gotten to, but you have one full-time in there.
Yes.
And then you have everything else that you're juggling.
Yes.
And the efficiency with this new technology and the new things has made this, you know, you would think that it was a 25 personnel office when it isn't.
Yes.
It's just really the technology that's being implemented that's allowing everybody, the two full-time constituents plus yourself, to be able to serve the community the way it's being served.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Well, and I mean, my team was like total rock stars.
Yeah, they are. But you know what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. In fact, most people don't realize that we are a pretty small operation, and we handle a large chunk of city business, from social media to CRMs to, of course, phone
manage
lines,
me.
Chat
but
functions.
I don't take much to manage, right?
Multimedia, yes. We are very embedded with everything, and it's really great. We help a lot with special events, and we love it. And like I said, my team is absolute rock stars. I mean, Isabel Sharp, Esperanza Trujillo, Jennifer Fabian, you know, Lilia, Joe, we're a really great team, and I could not be more thankful. And it's really cool. We're doing a lot of awesome stuff, and I'm really proud of. Yeah,
was there some other stuff you wanted to get to before I interrupted? Or?
No. Okay. It's fine. I think the CRM coming online is really neat.
Okay.
I was going to mention council services, which is really cool. We're doing a lot of stuff in terms of how we are meeting the needs of the councilors, of their constituents, all just really, really cool stuff, doing a lot of data-driven initiatives now, really vetting legislation through research. It's really cool. I think there's a lot going on. So
yeah, no, it's great. It's a very great energy.
Oh, good. Yes. We're trying. We're trying.
Absolutely.
So I think that's it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Yeah. Thank you for coming on and talking about the new signs and what the intent was behind it, because I think it's important that people need to know what our intent is as a city, as an organization, and why we did it, and that it is it is based on good intentions
Yes.
and not trying to be malicious towards anybody.
No, absolutely not. We are trying, and we will continue to try. So.
That's great. Well, thank you, Kristine, for coming on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe, for having me.
And thank you. I want to thank Christina, and I want to thank Adrian too as well for the behind the scenes, making us possible for you guys to hear us and see us. So thanks again.
Yes,
and also Rob Lambert for allowing us to use the gallery. It's in a little bit of a transition, but I'll tell you what, this is pretty incredible art that's going on here. I don't know the name of it, but you got to come down here when it does open, I think in a couple of weeks. So it's pretty impressive.
Really cool.
Next Friday it opens, so you want to come check that out.
Yeah.
So folks, thanks again for coming, watching us on on government television. Have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.